In Hillary Clinton's America, the system stays rigged against Americans. Syrian refugees flood in. Illegal immigrants convicted of committing crimes get to stay, collecting Social Security benefits, skipping the line. Our border open, it's more of the same, but worse. Donald Trump's America is secure. Terrorists and dangerous criminals kept out. The border secure. Our families safe. Change that makes America safe again. Donald Trump for president.
That was Donald Trump's latest and only general election ad, which was released this Friday and will air in 4 battleground states. With us now to break down this ad and so much more is Fred Davis, a Republican strategist and media consultant who joins us from fair Santa Barbara. We are also joined right here in New York City by Lis Smith, a Democratic strategist who was Martin O'Malley's deputy campaign manager and the director of rapid response for President Obama's 2012 campaign. Great to see you both. Liz,
Thank you.
How do you grade that ad?
You know what? I'm going to grade it an F because, and I know, look, that's rough. Because, look, the Trump campaign is trying, as you said earlier, with their outreach to African Americans and Hispanics to kind of soften his image. It's not really about winning over their votes. It's about telling, white suburban voters, hey, it's okay to pull the lever for me. I'm not that racist. But what it ultimately comes down to here is, and so that completely contradicts that, because it uses some of that kind of ugly imagery and ugly language that, Syrian refugees are overrunning our country. And that, ugly imagery that goes back to Jesse Helms, doing race baiting in 1994 with the white hands crumpling the pink paper. Sorry, didn't mean to go all the way back there. But
all the way back.
Right, all the way back there. My dad's from North Carolina, so I had to do it. But
Liz giving away her age a little bit here.
Yeah, but look, one thing I would say is this, is the bigger problem here for Donald Trump is the temperament issue. And I think, the contrast with this ad and the RNC ad is pretty stark, and it kind of shows the multiple personality disorder of his campaign right now. And Donald Trump's biggest problem is that he is addicted. He is an addict, and he's addicted to personal insults. And you know what? His campaign, his aides, his family have had multiple interventions with him. He has agreed that this is self-destructive, this is bad behavior, but he keeps repeating it. It keeps insulting people and keeps on alienating the people he needs to come over to his side.
That's a perfect transition to Fred Davis, who I've had multiple interventions with myself, and I've usually has been to encourage him to drink more bourbon. So, Fred, my question for you, we have been waiting a long time for the first real Donald Trump ad. You are a famed, esteemed, sometimes controversial ad man. You've seen this ad. Grade it on both as a piece of art and as a piece of strategy.
Well, first of all, it's hard to imagine that Liz is in the rapid response business, isn't it? And F, the only thing I thought was a little mysterious on it wasn't it the Two Americas John Edwards campaign theme? There seems to be a bit of a steal there. I thought it did what he needs to do. I think, John, you and I have talked about this a lot. I think this race comes down to old versus new. If you like the way things are going now, if you like the way things have gone the last 8 years, vote for Hillary because it's going to be the same. But most people, a lot of people in this country don't like the way things have been. And, Donald Trump might be a bit of a roll of the dice, but he's something different. He's something new. And I think it was probably a pretty good start. Unlike Liz, I believe, I thought it was pretty calm, and I think calm is something that he needs to do. Now, she's talking about the difference between the ad and his personality. I'll give her points there, but I think that is what the campaign needs to do, and that's probably some influence from Kellyanne, because I know she's been around there longer than she was just until recently. She was elevated to campaign chair or campaign manager.
But what's new about grievance politics? What's new about blaming all of our problems on immigrants? I don't see it as anything new. I don't see it as anything that will appeal to people outside of his base and outside of the people that he has already won over to his side. So I respectfully disagree there.
Fred, can I ask you about some of the language he's using in there when he talks about the system being rigged? I was just writing a piece for The Atlantic and talking to former Obama 2012 strategists who said, in 2012, after a lot of legislatures passed voter ID laws, we had to be really careful about the way we talked about that with our voters. If you tell people the system is rigged, it actually depresses turnout. And that what Trump is doing is not in service of his end goal, which is to become president. Telling people that the system's against you actually doesn't serve as a motivating factor to get people at the polls. You think that's fair?
Oh, good luck on your story. I've read quite a few like that. I think it's a Trumpism. I think it's Donald Trump doesn't like to lose, and right now in most polls he's behind, and I think that's just his way of saying, hey, I'm going to give it my best shot, and if I don't win, it's not my fault. I think that's way down in the weeds for the average voter, though.
It makes him look whiny and like a sore loser.